Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Well, I guess this one will be Justice for All. It has been quite a long while since we did the last episode, and that is because my capture card just didn't want to work for us, but I bought a new one and we're back. And because we were meant to be doing Wind Waker, but I have been trying all week to get it to work, and for some reason every time I try it, the controller seems for the Wii, like the Wii U controller, the the gamepad or whatever you want to call it. That thing just sort of dies, and also not dies, but loses, has an intermittent connection, and the bitrate dies on my stream, which is two things you cannot really do when you're streaming, which is weird because it worked for the first episode. But I've been trying to figure it out. I was trying to think of the possibility of getting a Pro controller, but that didn't work either. Anyway, last time I remember we were about to do the trial because we have to defend Maya because she's technically the only person to do this crime. And yeah, I'm gonna go in with no prior knowledge and see if I can work my way out. Bear in mind, I have played this game before, so we'll see what I pick up. June 21st. Ooh, it's actually close to the date today. It's like 9 days out, but it's nice to know that it's at least close. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Okay, and I have to remember how to do Maya's voice. Female voice.
What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean?
No, I heard a successor this time. I heard it's his successor this time, if I could speak.
Successor?
Yep.
Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks all so he could win.
And if you don't think prosecutors do that in real life, you're an idiot. He was a man possessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record, and for 40 long years. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each one of his guilty verdicts. And now his successor. Wonder what kind of person they'll turn out to be.
It's no good.
Oh, this will be Pearl, so higher pitch voice.
Mystic Maya! Hurley! You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you come together? Mother's watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks.
Well, that's... I don't know what it takes to be a spirit medium, but 2 days straight with no breaks, that sounds like pure pain. Anyway.
Huh. Then you came all by yourself? Yep. I snuck out the manor and followed a map.
Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not. I ran.
That's... Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train... Damn, Pearlie's got some, Herculean stamina. Because, okay, if that takes 2 hours by train to get from, town to wherever they're going, you can imagine how long it takes by foot. Long time. Very long time.
Hurley, what about the train? Huh? What's a train?
I give up. So do I. But generally in life, every day.
It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me?
Oh, well. If you know what this, if you know who and what this Von Karma does for a living, and what weapon she is her favorite to use, then you'll be fine with it, depending on what you're into.
At least I know Mr. Edgeworth will be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend.
Ah, good old edgy boy.
I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life...
Maya, don't ever mention that name again.
Huh? But why, Nick?
I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone, and he's not coming back.
What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean?
Court will commence shortly. Please proceed to the courtroom. Cool, I've only made 5 mistakes in the first paragraph. In the first, I guess, scene, we'll call it. Let's go. Now's not the time to be talking about that anyway.
Nick?
Just gotta clear the throat. It's gonna be a long day. Okay, Judge Weiss. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? There she is. What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Okay, and she's rich. She's young. But she also feels like she cut you with a knife verbally. Okay.
Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct?
Oh, Phoenix, you have all the license to be quite based here. Come on, do it. He won't be. He's too kind. I'm not. Hold on, so she's the famed successor to the Prosecutor Von Karma?
I am Prosecutor Von Karma, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge.
Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred? If something is of a personal nature, I'm sure you can. And there's the first whipping of the day.
I am talking. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me.
I mean, you could arrest her for assault, but you know. Does it say how old she is yet? So 18. So you know. You could arrest her for assault. She's 18. She ain't going to juvie now. She's going to big boy prison. Or big girl prison.
If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me.
Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you.
Ow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
I could do an overly stereotypical German voice, but who would want that? Prosecutor Von Karma, please, your opening statement, please. Getting ahead of myself.
Those of the Von Karma blood only have one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch.
Oh, very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor? Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Oh, we're actually using terms this time. Brilliant. Well, how does this work anyway? Yes.
Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams.
Did I nail that? I'm proud of myself for that. Usually tongue twisters get me, especially when you've heard me, you know, screw up 16 different times beforehand.
10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right, I'll have you running for the justified self-defense in plea in no time.
Justified self-defense? We're getting in real court terms now. Plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. You could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but The defense stands by its plea of not guilty, Your Honor. God, I love Phoenix when he looks like that. He's so determined, not, you know, it's what I do all the time. It's a thinly veiled mask of, you know, confidence behind shallow scarceness. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. Did I? Or didn't I? Well, how did Maya?
How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall call my first witness.
She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. I mean, she's probably got a nice side to her. You know? Through the rough exterior, she's probably quite kind. I'd like, you know, I'm sure you can peel back those layers and get a nice, lovely person out of her. She might be into some weird stuff, but, you know, whipping. Not many people do that, but who's to blame?
Witness, your name and occupation.
Damn it. So I can get through tongue twisters like foolishly fools, whatever it was, anyway. But I can't do that. Dick Gumshoe's voice. I remember this one, I think. Yes, sir. The name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct.
Ah! Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at the map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door is locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit?
It's quite a look of disbelief there.
Yeah, Your Honor. Sometimes I'm looking at it and going, did I say that right? I'm second guessing myself now. God damn it. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. And that's when they found the victim was already dead, correct? Oh, sorry. And that's when they found the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over. Okay, we got some floor plans. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that.
Stop wasting my time, then.
You know the drill now. If you've seen me play the first game, press everything. Unless they tell you not to press everything and then don't. The direct cause... I'll try it again. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was then fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. Murder used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing.
I remember none of that.
So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Okay, in Dr. Gray's autopsy report, after being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead point blank. Well, I guess... sort of instantaneous death, if anything. You know, well, the knife wasn't, but the gunshot probably definitely... Oh, well, definitely was. You don't sort of come back from a shot in the head. The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. All right, Dick. What are you gonna not tell me this time? The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe? Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's.
The victim? What? Now, why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point you are missing is those fingerprints that are on the pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start.
Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant Maya Fey was also on the grip, sir. And the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon.
I walked right into her hands there.
The shot was fired from point-blank range. Okay, and I see no problem so far.
Point-blank, huh? So, how far away is that?
It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away.
And how do you know he was shot point-blank range? This could be like, we're gonna learn about muzzle burn? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I grow tired of your foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country.
I thought she was gonna say car and I had to react quickly.
Excuse me? Gunpowder burn, yep. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from a point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. There were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead.
Wow, never knew that. I did. Live and learn, I guess. But before the victim was shot in the head, he was stabbed in the chest.
Stabbed, and
what was he stabbed with?
a fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was this? It looked like it belonged to the face, sir. Of course, Maya Fey's fingerprints were all over it. All over it, huh?
Oh, this does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death.
How severe was the wound?
If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand.
His testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill.
The murderer used the pistol to finish off the victim after the stabbing.
Are you sure he was stabbed, then shot?
Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal.
A fool who is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. Pistol shot to the forehead and at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which came first? A little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Okay. What a pain.
See, this is why I always press, because sometimes they just make statements and they just want you to know more about the case. So then you cannot... So offering evidence basically means like, oh yeah, you're going to definitely lose points this time around.
Okay, we have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well. The court accepts them into evidence.
Murder weapon was Gray's, 2 shots fired, Bear's, Myers, and Gray's fingerprints. Interesting, 2 shots were fired. A murder weapon, a small fruit knife belongs to the phase, Bear's, Myers' fingerprints. I just realized I'm essentially doing what Phoenix did in the opening case, didn't I? The tutorial case. The time of death, or the date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time.
2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them. This does seem like an open and shut case.
Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there?
That is quite true, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose.
See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes.
What will you do, Mr. Wright? You change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. It's your final chance.
This is a huge decision. I better think it through all the way. But if I plead justified self-defense, I'm not gonna get her off. And I've just realized what I've said. Do not take that out of context, please. I guess I am gonna have to plead not guilty, and I want a non-guilty plea. I plead justified self-defense. Would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled as a murderer. Slams table. Come on. I cannot let that happen. There we go. Your Honor?
Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright?
The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of a complete acquittal. Assault. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective!
Yes, sir.
Present the final portion of your testimony, the final strike.
Yes, sir. Now see here. Proceedings are ruled by...
Eek!
Yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony.
I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. It's taking a drink, sorry. Voice is getting scratchy already. Incriminating evidence.
Sorry, pal, but there's even more incriminating evidence.
Oh, incriminating piece of evidence.
This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So, this is the costume. This certainly is evidence of a backspray of blood on this. The piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence.
There are blood spatters on it.
Alright, Mr. Wright.
Maya's fingerprints are on both murder weapons and blood spatters on her clothes. Does this situation get any worse? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Can you just call me Phoenix, or Nick, or Handsome, or anything? Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Okay. First bit of evidence. Sorry.
Again, sorry, pal.
Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? Because Miss Von Karma didn't want to tell you.
You're kinda scary today, you know, pal. Come now, Mr. Wright, there is no need for that attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that.
See? The sternness works, apparently. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. Maya's costume?
Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her.
Maya, she's wearing a channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? As you can see, it's covered in blood. There's blood on the costume.
Lab results show that it's the victim's blood.
Well, that's a bit bad.
So there's blood from the victim of the there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes.
Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of the evidence?
Well...
If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time, let's move on.
Oh, yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct.
Not even the judge is on our side. I'd bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do?
Press. Slam table. Do it.
Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder. Okay, and everybody, you had a good look at that thing then. What do you think it is?
Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way you could poke a hole in it.
Wink wink, nudge nudge. Looks like my time is up, so about the costume. I believe there is one little thing that I want to further discuss about. Your Honor? Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence.
What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is the problem you're talking about?
Come this far. There's no turning back now. Problem I have with this piece of evidence is... Hole. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume.
The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here.
Yeah,
A hole? That wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder?
looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Go with it, Phoenix. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion is that you can The only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. I'm trying, I swear.
Order. This is a very grave matter. Best we correct the court record first before anything else.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We messed up, sir.
Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony that just now was a fluke. Nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
Well, I'll agree the mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then...
No way.
Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir.
And onwards. He wasn't fighting back. How do you know if he was or wasn't?
We could find no evidence the victim put up any sort of a struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically.
We're in real trouble now. Only I had something to prove the victim did fight back. Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with his testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. I think I know what the contradiction is. I am assuming it's either the gun or the bullet or the actual clothes. Because obviously the clothes got a bullet hole in. Shows signs of self-defense. Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yeah? And you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling.
You said that my client killed a person who, without doubt, was not fighting back.
Yeah, I did.
Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean?
What does this mean?
I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? Sorry about that. Must have clicked with my finger.
Yeah, you're right. It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything.
All right. Wind seems to be shifting. Ha. What is with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Miss Von Karma?
It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is the only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea.
That is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
Now that you... Why, that's right.
Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No.
Well, that is true.
Furthermore, just the fact that this is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even the plea of justified self-defense.
How so?
Yeah. Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course.
You mean, by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Ah! Yes, sir, right away, sir. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used his last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but they were too close, and they missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it.
Damn, Maya's got some critical sleight of hand there, hasn't she?
The scenario you've put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright.
On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please.
There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. And in body strength, it makes it seems unlikely that the victim could have stabbed the victim.
Now you mention it, yeah, I guess.
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of a channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Karine channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With a nurse's build and the defendant, she could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Karine channeling technique. Just as I said before, I am perfect.
What about what you were talking about? I don't quite get it. Oh, never mind. Let's continue with the testimony.
Oh yeah, that's basically just the judge being like, don't inform the judge of what we're talking about. I know it and you know it. Well, he don't and we don't care. From Kane, second pressing of statement. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound wouldn't have killed him.
If you think about the blood loss, he probably was hurt pretty bad.
How badly hurt would you say he was?
Actually, I went to give blood the other day. And afterward, I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. Oh, what a good guy Gumshoe is. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness? Sorry.
Where in the world did that pistol come from?
Looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day.
But a handgun?
He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder.
Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something?
Game victim took a shot, but they were too close and he missed. So you're saying the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. 2 of them were already fighting when a shot was fired.
Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt.
Defendant then picked up the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it.
Maya has never fired a gun before in her life.
It is point blank, you know. I think even I couldn't miss from point blank range. The victim had already taken off the safety. The safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it, just pulling the trigger.
You and me? I wonder.
Phoenix is just gonna come in with a big iron on his hip.
Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect.
His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. Okay, well let's have a look at this stuff. Murder weapon was Gray's. 2 shots fired bears Myers and Gray's fingerprints. Took out his gun. Took a shot, but they were too close and he missed. I'm just thinking for a second, because it's either this, picked up the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Victim took a shot, but they were too close and he missed. See, the thing is about that is, if they were too close, how can you say they were too close and he missed when Maya took the gun and ended it when she was probably too close as well? Won't be this. Won't be that. Won't be that. Won't be that. It could be that, but I doubt it. Got a feeling it's this. I could be wrong. Could be very wrong. Could also be the door. Victim, because they were too close, he missed. Nah, it's not that. I'm wrong. Thank you, Judge. Okay, and they were too close, he missed. And picked up the opening, took the victim's gun, and then ended it. Well, 2 shots were fired. The only thing is, how much blood would you get on your clothes through shooting someone in the head? Is this? Nah, that's probably for later. Don't have anything wrong with this. I should probably save, shouldn't I? Just in case I screw up. Last of his strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but they were too close and he missed. And then picked up the opening and took the victim's gun and ended it. Trying to think what would be it, what would make sense. There's Myers and Gray's fingerprints. Victim took a shot, yep. Stabbed in the chest and shot point blank. And powder residue about around the bullet hole. I'm really confused about what the actual contradiction could be. I know people are probably screaming at me to try and figure out what it is. Okay, let's review. Saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Okay. Whilst the victim used the last of his strength to fight. Okay, and I'm fine with that. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. I'm also fine with that. The victim took a shot, but they were too close and he missed. I feel like it has to be this. Defendant then picked up the opening, took up the victim's gun and ended it. You know what I'll do here? We'll just save, because I can't be bothered going through the whole trial again. If I do screw up. It's definitely not anything here. Residue around the bullet hole. I just don't know. Because we pressed everything, right? Is it one of those where you have to press everything again? No, this is the same dialogue. Yep, same dialogue. This will come from, like, it's specifically bought for that day. Why did Gray, was he trying to defend against someone? Is it something stupid like that? Ah, well, I'll take it. So I'm gonna go with this. Okay, there we go. Yep, okay, and all I have to do is think through it clearly, and then we get there. Okay, missing the tiny hole on this costume. I thought it was something to do with that, but I was just like, I can't see the outright contradiction, you know what I mean? Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Yeah, what do you mean? So I think, like, if they go onto the folding screen right now, I'm going to be angry because that's the thing I first went for in terms of, yes, because this bullet goes through. This little hole actually creates a huge hole in your testimony. Yeah. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Fair enough. Yeah, gunpowder burn. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, now I'm just an idiot. This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh! There's not a single trace of gunpowder, of a gunpowder burn on this costume. That's a very good point. Did they make an outright thing of if there is a gunpowder, but there's no gunpowder burn? I know they said it smells of gunpowder, but did they make a reference to the fact there's no burn on it? What exactly does this mean? It means, because I just would have assumed there was a burn on it. It means that when they were shot, the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Oh, then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, and he fired. How was that? I don't think that would work. As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. We got her on the ropes. We're seeing that sweat for the first time, the chink in the armor. Well then. That's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space in between the doctor and herself. And while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Must be careful, I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. I don't think it does make sense. Because we know that there's the board with the hole in. There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Yeah, fatal. Flaw? Yeah. Very interesting. I'd love you to show me where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. Must be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. Must be a piece of evidence that contradicts the line of thinking. Right, yeah. This is why I went for the folding screen beforehand. Because I was like, okay, this must make sense. Yeah, I thought so. Up yours. Your roundabout way of correctly explaining stuff while presenting evidence. This is a piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I'd like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Oh, what? Where? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. These two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... When the shot was fired, Maya, I mean the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order. This changes everything. Please look at the diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot. and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit this location about 8 inches off the ground. This time, the defendant was in this area. I'm assuming here, because probably there makes more sense. Here? Or there? And because I'm stupid. I want to say here. It's definitely not there. Yeah. It's the one I said before. Never mind. Oh, it could be the... Maya could be there. But she also could be here. In terms of right on top of the victim. Because they were too close. The odds on she was there. It's not very likely. She was standing near the folding screen.
Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that?
Isn't it possible the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That is impossible.
But why?
Well, you of all people should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. Bullet thing. Burn. Yeah, that. If she was shot from somewhere close, there would have been gunpowder burn present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume.
Ah. Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you.
I believe it has been now proven that the defendant was standing a ways away from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think that this has changed the defendant's situation? I'm assuming it's changed everything. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. Prosecutions claim that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, then delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Yeah, squatting up all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, then why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving your logic is, proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oof. Alright, for this, the rest of the trial should be in the book. Crap. Blast radius of disaster. Yep.
You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you were able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had such a tough time with you. You amuse me.
Of all things to inherit, why'd it have to be that smarmy smile?
Detective? How dare you damage my perfect logic?
Huh? How is it my fault?
You can start by repairing your standing by removing that free-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured, your punishment will come later.
Punishment?
Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness.
Next witness? Well, that's gotta be Lotta. Yeah, Lotta was there when we were there. I remember now. I'll take, you know, sucking at one contradiction because I can't. My logic was right. The order in events of why I had to prove that logic was wrong. Very well. So I'm not taking an L on that one. The court will take a recess within 5 minutes. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Yeah, because that's why I presented the folding screen first, because I went, you clearly see that the hole went through here. There's, but yeah, the muzzle thing, or the gunpowder burn, that makes sense. Okay. Go straight on to the next one, right? Oh no, I just meant, yeah. I thought I meant load. You want to load in a file. Yeah, but I essentially meant the same thing, but technically I was skipping steps. Oh well. June 21st, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Whew, that was a close one.
I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air.
I feel I was pretty close to dying myself.
You were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you.
Thanks. Wait, tricked?
That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right?
Yeah, lying. Got it.
By the way, is the next witness who I think it is?
I'm pretty sure it's Law, huh?
Oh, guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sis's ghost will come and haunt after you and haunt you. Your sister? Oh, are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah, you remember her, Pearl? Do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that.
And back into the fire. Court will now reconvene. Now the first order of... How?
I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a little good boy.
Or a good little boy. Yes, sir.
Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling.
Well, she didn't witness it. She was out there with me. No, didn't I give Lotta the Southern voice because she is Southern? Like, as an American Southern, like the stereotypical Southern American voice that I butcher always, because I'm not very good with voices.
Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hi, Phoenix. How you doing?
Just fine.
Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know.
Ah.
Name and occupation. I declare one tarnation. Hey, Judge, this is violence against my fair self.
That's fine. I'm completely fine with whipping people.
That's fine. That ain't fine. That's a whip. Yeah. There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I go through the tongue twister again and can't do that for some reason. I haven't even gotten to say my name and job yet. My name's Lotta Harp, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify.
Now, let's all be one big happy family, okay?
Only the doc and the defendant went to the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door, and then bang! We heard this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room.
You know, swole Phoenix. Phoenix might, one might say.
Inside, the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room.
And did you take a picture of the scene right there after the murder took place?
Reckon course.
Excuse me?
Reckon course, in short for you reckon? Of course I did. Ah! Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show the picture to the court. The moment of truth won't be in this picture.
Let's see here. Yeah, here's the picture. Big iron, big iron. Just that music starts playing in the background. It would certainly seem that the only defendant and the victim were in that room.
Picture taken at the murder scene. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me.
It's weird how Phoenix goes from somewhat of an idiot in terms of these games to, if we ever play Apollo Justice, which I would like to play. It's a nice game. Like I prefer Apollo Justice to this game, where Phoenix is he's playing like, he goes from absolute idiot to playing 4D chess. You'll see what I mean if we ever get around to it. Only the Dark and the Defendant went into the channeling chamber.
Was it really only those two that went in? What are you blabbering about? You were there too, were you not? Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them?
Yes, Dr. Gray and Maya were the only two that went into the room.
Hold on, we haven't had the defense testifying against his own client. We can't have that.
Anyways, folks, only two of them went to the channeling chamber, you hear? But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you, witness? Continue.
Was it really a gunshot?
Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot?
Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot. Essentially, this is her just taking her glove off and smacking him across the face.
Then why are you listening to the defense testify?
And the world becomes just a little crueler. I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I tell you, that was a gunshot I heard. Now, this is where the story heats up.
And Mr. Lawyer broke the door down and we rushed into the room. So let me get this straight. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down? Do you mean Mr. Mr. Muscle over here flexed and the door just broke open?
Honestly, Mr. Phoenix Wright, why don't you tell us what happened?
Yeah, Miss Von Karma. I broke the door down. Sorry. And why do I feel like this is an inquisition? No need for apologizing. That was great. You're a real man.
Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see.
The judge is just thinking about Phoenix, like doing like the Mr. Universe poses, like just think of like an Arnold, like those bodybuilding pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger but with Phoenix photoshopped on top of them, and it's just Phoenix doing the poses. The judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And what did you see once you broke in? Nah, I think he's definitely feeling of like naked pictures of Phoenix going through his mind. Inside there was the dead victim, and something else. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awful confident in her testimony. Slam table. Lotta. I went into her voice then, strangely enough. Lotta, please think back to the day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room?
I was murdered.
Law, at a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. Anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she, Ma? When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not. Am I correct? Well, you see...
Oh there, Miss Hart. You are here to present accurate testimony.
Sorry. Good, this shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered? One of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Maya that went in.
Looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey.
Exactly.
I trapped like one. Again. Talking about rats. No, did I say rats? I can't remember if I did.
I swear the other two, there was no one else in that room.
You're absolutely certain of that?
Sure am. That old witch chased us out the room, so...
Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fay?
There was no one else in there, and you know it.
Channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about... Behind the folding screen would make sense. Behind the door, off under the flooring wouldn't really make sense. Behind the folding screen would. There was a sizable gap in the folding screen, or behind it. What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there?
Rick Given.
What in the...
Rick Given, you know? You reckon that's what gets a given? I took me a good look around the room once. Ain't no way anyone was hanging around behind the folding screen.
I may have a word with you, Miss Hart.
What, you got a problem?
Rick Given, I meant I'm having a little difficulty understanding you. If you would please stop saying such things as Reckon Given.
Now then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, do you see a problem with the testimony, don't you?
Just as I thought, there's nothing wrong with her testimony. I was sure... I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth.
Enough. Seems that there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony.
At the time of the crime, there were only two people in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Miss Maya Fey.
The phrase of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstance, it would have to be the defendant.
What am I going to do? I can't just let this go.
Well, what is it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You look as if you have something to say.
If I make one wrong move here, I'm going to have the judge against me. Is there anything I can prove that this is not Maya in the photo? Let's take a look at the court evidence first. Hang on. How much blood's on that clothing? I don't know. I don't think I can present anything, but I really need to. I don't think I can present it. Like, nothing makes sense.
Well, Mr. Wright.
Nothing, Your Honor.
It's a very smart move of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not Maya Fey.
I didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument. Okay, then.
That's enough.
Is this it? Is this all I could do?
I think it's quite obvious to the court that a verdict of not guilty is not possible.
I told you. Totally 100% impossible.
Miss Von Karma, do you have any further questions for this witness?
Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed.
What about the defense? No further questions, I presume?
come protect Maya. Defense. The defense. Phoenix. Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets. Mia. I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say? But pearls. Yeah, I'm not gonna say about the clothes are a bit small because, you know. I don't know what to say. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go. But how? She's already taken away every advantage. The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully one more time about what you saw in the channeling chamber. You remember what you told me yesterday? Dr. Gray. I was murdered. What? At a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. You see, there's one final piece to this puzzle. Mia? Question law one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully.
And now this court would like to end the cross-examination period.
There we go. Please wait, Your Honor. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time.
Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. No more any unrelated...
It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect. Absolutely flawless. And what better time than this for you to see that?
But I mean, I have someplace I must go after this. Alright, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry up and give us another testimony.
Well, heck, what am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us once more about what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Alright, you got it. See, you got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got him through it, but, you know, swings and roundabouts. Well, when we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. Well, we know she took 2 shots, so that's obviously going to be where the evidence will lie.
I think it sounds different from before.
Some parts of her testimony were very vague. I should press her on those sections. Struggle all you like, taste as you like, taste. Struggle all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm waiting. Okay, press. So, what did she look like? You know, she looked like almost a different person.
A different person?
She may seem like a different person, however, she was still Maya Fey. We have already made that point abundantly clear.
That is true. Well then, Miss Hart, do you happen to see anything else?
I was kind of scared. Then perhaps the body was not Dr. Gray's at all. I mean, that's a stupid objection. Even I'm like, come on, Phoenix, that's dumb. Yeah, well, I reckon that's possible. If the body inside that room was not that of Dr. Gray, then whose body was it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Well, what if it was that of Maya Fey after the channeling, or maybe...
Yeah, you deserve that whipping.
Foolishly fool sprouting foolishly foolishness, just as I expect from a foolish fool as such as you. If that were the case, then that would mean that Maya Fey is in fact dead. And that would make the defendant's chair quite a lonely place, wouldn't it?
Sorry, Maya.
Y'all done here? Can I continue?
Really bad when it comes to ghosts and stuff. And even knowing that, you still persist in being a paranormal photographer.
That's why I'm getting the hell out of this business. This gal's gonna get the dirt on the stars and be a tabloid photographer from now on.
She goes through jobs faster than a baby goes through diapers.
Ah! Mr. Phoenix Wright, would it kill you to stay on topic for a change?
Well, what did Mr. Wright?
A nice tag team in stereo. Should I be grateful it's not a 5.1? Oh, it's not in 5.1. Radio references. Okay, 2, right?
2 what?
2 shots. You took 2 shots. But only one, sorry.
Only one has been submitted as evidence.
Miss Hart, where's the other picture that you have been withholding?
No, you got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil.
Well, at least she knows herself.
And why have you not shown the other picture to the court yet?
Well, ain't it obvious? The prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it.
What?
Von Karma.
Ms. Von Karma.
Miss Von Karma, you were hiding critical evidence.
Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this, you're as bad as your father. Yeah, do it. Your Honor, the defense asked that Miss Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court.
Me? In contempt of court?
You can't be serious.
You hid evidence from the court on purpose. That's literally the definition.
Like, honestly, that's not fair.
Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a school child?
I was so angry I lost my composure.
Miss Von Karma, care to explain yourself to the court?
I thought this picture was not important and thus felt no need to submit it. That's all. How could you think pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence.
More trouble than it's worth? How?
How can you say that? You want to see it that badly, I'll submit it.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking at a certain part of that picture, but not probably the part that people think I am.
What is this picture?
It's obvious the second picture took witness, the witness took that it's obviously the second picture the witness took that day at the scene of the crime.
Got there in the end.
Well, it's a little off-center, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur.
I think the important point here is that the person is in the picture. It's most definitely not Maya Fey. What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for. Now, should I or shouldn't I insist that the person in this picture is not Maya? Well, okay. On the one hand, it is not Maya. It's someone else. On the other hand, it technically still is Maya. It is the body of Maya Fey, so...
I insist it's not Maya. Drop the issue. I'm gonna be stupid and drop the issue. It's no good. We've been through this so many times.
It's not like you, Mr. Wright. Why are you not objecting? This person in the photo is clearly not the defendant yet.
Ha ha ha. There is no way you can raise an objection and hope to live.
Explain yourself.
Your Honor, I'd like to take a look at this. I'd like you to take a look at this picture. Again, looking definitely at the wrong place. This was taken yesterday at the detention center's visitor room. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visit.
Maya Fey? But isn't this a totally different person?
She looks this way because she's obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit. You know, Francisca, you know, with that look there, she's kind of cute. I'm gonna put my fist down and say it.
It's unbelievable. She can...
And yet, it is the truth. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes into a person she's calling. Miss Von Karma, a word if I may. Mia? Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you must know that that picture can be submitted as evidence.
Well, going off, what's fruit of the poisonous tree? Can't remember what, like, thing that is in American law. If you get, like, evidence illegally, you can't use it to prove something in court.
Obviously, I know this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place.
What is she?
From the moment I showed this picture into the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind.
I don't even have a single witty line.
Well, it looks like we've been had.
I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying this person is the defendant Maya Fey?
I give up, the trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it will cost me. Is there any way I can prove this person in the picture is not Maya? Technically yes, but technically no. Because technically it is someone else. Yeah. You can prove it's not Maya. But because it's someone else she's channeling, so technically it is someone else. Your Honor?
Oh, the fire's returned to your eyes, I see.
This picture... Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now.
A contradiction, you say?
So, you think you've spotted a problem with this picture? Then you'll earn your keep. Why don't you point out what exactly is the problem?
Well, first of all, Maya, she doesn't have these. There's contradiction 1 and 2. Okay. I mean, the obvious thing is the face, but that won't be a contradiction because we know that she changes face when she changes her body. So, the contradiction has to be... Which sleeve was it? Which of the arms was the hole in? Okay, and it was this way. So it was my right. So it's her left. So if I point here, my right? No gun hole?
You don't sound very sure of yourself, Mr. Wright.
Excuse me, but can you really explain tell me how much confidence I have in this?
What is with that attitude?
Ow, that hurt!
Didn't we finish discussing that her appearance changes during channeling?
I know you ain't no... Okay, and everyone's giving me crap. Cool.
Phoenix, you have to think before you speak. Alright. Even Maya's mad at me now. No, okay, here's what I think the contradiction is. This is bloody, and it's on the left-hand side of... Wait, no, I'm stupid. So the left-hand side for me... Oh, right-hand side, so we built her right. Sorry, I got confused about which side it would be. Apologize, I'm just an idiot. Here. Please direct your attention here. To the sleeve?
Or to the sleeve. But there isn't anything odd about it.
Exactly. And that is exactly what is so odd. Something should have been there is suddenly missing. Should be there. There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well.
Mrs. Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence? You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this.
Alright. This should do some major damage to our argument. Don't celebrate yet, Phoenix. You like to bring down the mood, don't you? Take a look at Miss Von Karma's face. She's got a condescending grin plastered all over her face again. Tisk tisk, jumping the gun again I see, Your Honor. I would like to extend an apology on behalf of those Oh, I thought you said impotent, never mind. I mean, that would have been an insult, but, well, incompetent fools.
What do you mean by incompetent fools?
If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. And as I didn't, I could not have known this picture was of any value to the case.
I see.
She's lying for her teeth. I know it. That woman knew about everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything. But you can't prove that. Franziska Von Karma's idea of a perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Your Honor, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that a detective gets what's coming. I'm sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at his next salary discussion. Poor Gumshoe.
In this case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, on this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none.
The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you've got into this one shot, alright? Okay. Get ready for this. Your Honor, there's only one logical explanation for this contradiction. The bullet hole was made later. It's got to be the bullet hole was made later, right? Well, actually, no. Because then Maya should have shot... Hang on, let me think this through because I'm an idiot. It's... Right, first of all, that's stupid. The picture's fake is a dumb argument. The bullet hole was made later is also stupid. I think. Because if the bullet hole was made later, Dr. Gray must have fired first, and then she would have fired after killing him. So... the shooter is someone else makes more sense. That has to be the answer. Oh, okay. And the defendant's sleeve has a bullet hole in it. However, this person clearly does not. This can only mean, or there can only be one explanation. Rather in the end. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether. What?
Order, order, order. If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial.
Ah! The defense's argument is a complete mess. A complete mess? I fail to see how. Please enlighten us. Hey, witness. What in the heck? Is there any way to ask a gal a favor? Be quiet, you. You weren't the one who said it was only the two of them went to the room. Well, you know. You were lying. I'll swear that my whip will be the last thing you see. Look, sis. You're looking mighty scary, so why don't we say you... Why? I swear I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anybody else in there, honest. You see? Riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh, no. Wrong game. We're doing that after. We're playing Arkham City after this. You can't be riddling stuff now. Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? Why is it lately all I want to do is cry?
Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did the person come from?
That's right. Hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Come on, Phoenix. You can't fall apart here.
I don't believe even Mia's calling me by my full name. But, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this?
Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or do you think you have enough in you to turn things around?
Turn things around? That's right, Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective.
Phoenix?
So, where did this intruder appear from, and where did Maya disappear to? I need to look around. Oh, I need to look at this from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had already left the room somehow? I could prove either one of these conditions were true.
Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with.
I think what happened here before we forced our way in the chamber is that a third person had entered in. No, they were already in. Something I can't explain yet. I assume he said, well, Maya left the room, so I assume it's Maya left the room. I'm going along his line of logic. Maya left the channeling chamber at some point, and the defense can prove this.
Oh, how a foolishly fool makes a foolish face while dreaming foolishly foolish dreams. Maya Fey was being looked after by her aunt, Morgan Fey. The chance of her leaving the crime scene is lower than that detective's salary.
Anyway, let's see some evidence.
Well, let's see some evidence. Prove that the murder until the time of the arrest.
Prove that the murder until the time of the arrest, the defendant had left the room. There could have been a moment where they could have left the room. The only way she could have left the room was with a key. That's gotta be right, huh? Okay, and there's nothing else that makes more sense. I'm gonna go with the key. Wish me luck, fellas, otherwise we're gonna have to do this all over again. Oh, thank God. Anytime the music cuts out and that thing goes away, it means you're right. And it's beautiful. Miss Hart, do you remember this key? Because the key is the one that locks the door. Hey, that's the channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from inside with that. The defendant herself locked the door? Yeah, that's why we couldn't get the door open. That key's the only one of its kind, after all.
Oh, one of a kind, you say?
Wait, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Yes, it looks like she's catching on. She's picking up what I'm putting down.
I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession?
Huh? What do you mean?
If Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have been with her.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest. Ah, well, ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding it? I found it in an incinerator, right? Or did I get it off someone? Yeah, I got it off Pearl. I got this gift from a certain little girl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time.
That's preposterous.
Oh, I think not. This means Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you now.
No.
It seems we have come to an impasse. Come to an impasse. This picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that the person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Ms. Von Karma?
How can this be?
At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant's guilt is not possible.
My perfect case. How is there a flaw in my perfect case? Don't you think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I am a prodigy. I have never lost a case. And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict.
That's enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will now reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Wow! That was you, Pearly? You summoned my sis? Yeah, I felt like I had no choice. Where you going, Pearly? I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know?
Yeah. It's not like anyone else in there could have done that.
Nick? I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room. Now, I don't think a third person could have got into that room.
Maybe a third person was already inside the room. I mean, that's got to be the only problem. Or the only other explanation for such. Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like what happened in that room, for instance.
Yeah, counting on you. I envy the two of you. Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think that you could take Pearly back home for me?
Sure. Alright, Pearls. You ready to get some, to buy some tickets?
Ticket?
Poor thing, so sheltered. Hey, could be worse. You know, she could have gone on that train on her own, and then we've all got a problem. Whew. Well, that could have gone better. Well, it could have gone worse. Again, let me just unplug my phone, because that's been going on while we've been doing this. Ugh. I always have my phone on a phone on charge. Means I can use it later on. Anyway, in June 21st at Karayan Village. We're back here, are we?
Thank you so much for bringing me home, Mr. Nick.
You're welcome. I had to come and look into a few things here today anyway.
I thought about this a little. Mystic Maya didn't kill that nice man. She definitely didn't.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was Pearl.
Yes, of course. But if she didn't, then someone else did, right? That murderer person.
Yes, Pearls.
Oh, I see.
I wonder what's wrong. She seems sad. Well, examine everything again. A giant rock seems to be reaching for the sky. Its origins are written on a beat-up old sign. Looks like this giant rock is called the Karayan Boulder. There's a really complex explanation written here, but long story short, it's a big stone for spirits to live in, or something like that. An old bus stop. It says Karayan Village on the signpost. Buses seem incredibly inconvenient since they only come 3 times a day. It's an old-style phone booth. I can't say it fits in with the area too well. I called the police from this phone. That you did, Phoenix. That you did. Rustic, thatched roof houses where the other villagers live line the street. There are nowhere near as large or as nice as the manor in front of me. Kind of odd that I don't see any of the other villagers around, though. Yeah, you don't see any of the other villagers because, you know, the art department didn't want to have to put them in. Biggest, most elegant building I can see from here. Of all the buildings I can see from here. This is Fey Manor, the place Maya calls home. It's easy to be overwhelmed by its presence. Okay, is that everything? Seems to be. Okay, now we can talk to Pearl. So, what did you think of seeing your first trial?
I was really surprised. I've never seen so many people before.
Oh?
Mystic Maya looks so small and helpless.
Well, Maya's already naturally short, so... Oof. Calling Maya a midget.
And then that snobby woman with the ruffly clothes.
Roughly? Oh, she mean Francisca.
She had such a bad attitude. She acted like she had already decided the Mystic Maya did it. I'm gonna tell her what I think of her tomorrow.
I wouldn't miss tomorrow's trial for the world.
What is with that woman bullying Mystic Maya?
Well, she's the opposite of a lawyer, a prosecutor. So her job is to prove people guilty. They don't care if someone's innocent. All they care about is if they win. That's a bit mean, but also somewhat true. Like, if you don't think that... Because the oh well, this is just a thing in real life I'm thinking about. Where you do realize that prosecutors, they do get, you know, paid, you know, on if... I'm assuming they get paid better or don't get... I'm choosing... well, they have a flat rate, but if they want to further their career, they will have to prove certain people guilty in certain cases. If you have a prosecutor who continuously doesn't prove people guilty, it's sort of a bad prosecutor if you think about it. So yeah, they do sort of care about winning, but not everyone does. It's sort of a blanket statement.
That's terrible. But she's a really good prosecutor with a heart on the inside, right?
I'd assume so. There's no one like that. All prosecutors are all the same. Phoenix is blackpilled on the issue. Well, he might have become a good guy, eventually. Talking about edgy boy.
He? Who are you talking about, Mr. Nick? Was that the person Mystic Maya was talking about? Mr. Edgyworth?
Yeah, good old Miles. That was a long time ago. He's not around anymore.
Huh?
He clutched onto his foolish pride too fiercely, and died for it.
Oh, that's too bad.
I like how they just gloss over the fact that he's dead. By the way... Yeah?
Yes, what is it?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about who the murderer is, would you?
Why were you asking me?
No, I was just thinking about earlier.
I didn't see anything.
She didn't see anything, huh? Speaking of that, during the murder, I'd be asking how she got the key. Where was Pearls and what was she doing? On top of that, this key. Just when did she pick this up? I just realized I never asked you what you were doing at the time of the crime. Pearls, where were you and what were you doing when the murder happened?
What was I doing? I wasn't doing anything.
She's really bad at lying. You can whisper it to me. I won't tell anyone, I promise. Ah, she's lying.
I guess you can see through my lie, huh?
Yeah, clearly.
Can't lie to you, can I, Mr. Nick?
Nope. We need I'm gonna go around everywhere else before we figure that out. Now we go with the presenting game.
So that's like a lawyer's secret treasure?
Huh?
I feel like it has a mysterious power, just like my Magatama.
Well, I guess I can let her think what she wants on this one.
I'm sure it's helpful to you in some way. But I'm still in training, so I don't know anything about it. I'm really deeply sorry.
No, it's okay. I shouldn't have shown you it in the first place. Very sorry. It's so weird talking to a kid like this. Oh no, damn it, I didn't mean to do it. Can I back out? Okay, Pearl's alibi. Pearl, you have to tell me what you were doing when the murder happened, okay?
But what if I can tell you what happened?
And I guess, then I'll guess what happened. How does this sound?
What? You can do that?
You'll tell me if I guess something right, won't you?
Yeah?
Now, when the murder was taking place, you were here, right? Can I back out? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I have evidence to prove where she was just yet. Show her everything just to make sure that I'm covering all my bases.
So you like things about spirit channeling too? The Krine's sacred writings are on this folding screen.
Oh, is that what's written on it?
There are 6 lines to the sacred writings. Cleanse thy soul, open the door to the spiritual realm beyond. Converse with the departed. Cast on thy self-protection. Maintain the spell, release the spell.
So basically this has nothing to do with the murder. Well, that's super. About this key, Pearls. You found it on the day of the murder, right?
Yes?
Now, where you found this key is very important. So please tell me, Pearls, where did you find this?
I found it in the incinerator.
Incinerator? Is she talking about the one in the garden?
Door was a little open, so I took a peek.
When was that?
It was after the channeling, when everyone was in a panic. Mr. Nick?
Yes?
Are you going to tell my mother?
Oh, you mean Morgan? Tell you what you did?
Yeah, she finds out I was playing in the leftover trash. I'll get a spanking.
I got you. Let's keep it a secret for her then, alright? Seems like quite the stern mother. Incinerator, Sounds like a good place to search next. Show a little kid the autopsy file. Here, kid, you want to play with this handgun?
I've seen this knife before.
Really? Where?
My kitchen.
Oh, that's right. That knife belongs to the vase.
I'll skin and cut up some apples for you later, Mr. Nick.
Okay, thanks.
That's Mystic Maya's.
I shouldn't have shown her something this violent.
Is that blood?
It's nothing really. Just in case you ever saw this, okay? What was I thinking? I can't show stuff like this to a child. Second thought, showing this picture might cause her some severe trauma. Show the other one. Again. You could ask about all these people.
I'm sorry, I don't know who that person is.
I guess that makes sense. You've never left Orion Village after all.
I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick. I don't really know anything outside the village. I look up to Mystic Maya a lot. She's my role model. She's so smart and pretty and kind and loving. She's always cheerful and never gets sick, isn't picky, and has good sleeping habits. She always wakes up before me and always eats breakfast before me, too. And she has you, such a wonderful person whom she can share a lot.
Okay, I get the idea. She really thinks the world of Maya, doesn't she?
I know her for a little while. Mystic Mia was your teacher, right? I'm sure she was a great master of lawyers.
Master of Lawyers. I guess. I mean, it's not exactly a martial art, but...
You should keep training, Mr. Nick.
Yeah? Well, you're probably right. Okay, she doesn't know who Gumshoe is. That's herself.
To tell you the truth, I really want to grow up my hair out, just like Mystic Maya. My mother won't let me.
I think your hair suits you, now suits you perfectly.
Really? Thank you.
And fidgets with her. Oh, I think she might have a crush on Phoenix. I mean, it's understandable. The man can break down a door with his just muscles alone.
Well, that's my mother. She takes really good care of me and loves me very much. She says I'm the pride of the Branch family, but I don't know what that means.
Branch family. That concept is probably still too hard for little Pearl. Then, whoever this is... Oh yeah, I remember who that is. Never mind. Oh, nearly done, Pearl. We're nearly done. We're nearly done. We can go into other places and work out that stuff. Sorry, don't know who that person is. You know who Lotta is. Then what does she have to say about Francisca?
This person. I can't let her get away with bullying Mystic Maya like that. I'm gonna cast a curse on her.
Can spirit mediums really do that?
Actually, no, I guess not. Yeah, find something I can do then.
When they're mad, the women of the Fae family could give a Medusa a run for her money. Well, I think that's everybody. So now we move into the meditation room. I doubt the detention center and the law office are going to help us. Morgan's probably here. It's really empty. Oh, it's really empty. Training was supposed to be held today. I guess it's already over. Well, we can still examine. Piece of cloth with a ton of finely written characters jammed onto it. All the esoteric knowledge only spirit mediums will know. Let's see. Here's one in English. It says, 100 ways to save money. Being a medium sounds like a rough way of life. It probably is. You have to ascribe yourself to a certain way of life. It's like monks when you see those. They, you know, they don't have lavish lifestyles. I don't think they do anyway. This door leads out to the winding way. Weather outside looks really nice. Okay, and anything else? Someone with a lot of skill wrote these 4 Chinese characters with a brush. Oh look, here's a translation. Once in a lifetime. Its message is people should value their ghostly meetings as once-in-a-lifetime chances. Door leads to the channeling chamber, this place where spirits and people meet. The iron in this door was tempered, making it very solid. Guess it wasn't strong enough to withstand the Phoenix. The Phoenix might, is what I'm going to call him. Okay, and I guess we better go in there and find out. Looks like Morgan's here too, but she hasn't noticed me yet. What is she doing? Looks like she's talking to a picture.
Don't you see? Take a look around. Finally, my chance has come. I've waited for this day for so long. That's right, prepare yourself, dear Misty.
What in the...
Who's there? Oh, if it isn't Mr. Wright.
I'm just curious, but that picture you were looking at...
Oh, today was that event. Was it not, good sir? I heard you did well.
Yes, thank you.
Terribly sorry I could not attend the trial today. Please accept my apology. I had a previous engagement as I watch over the trainees training today.
I get the sense she really doesn't want to talk about the picture.
Oh, because of the master can't be here with us, you understand. That is why a lowly branch family member such as myself must do this.
Well, let's have a look around the room first. Meditation room's on the other side of this room. A very heavily looking door. On the lock is broken. Well, because I broke it. It doesn't seem possible, but I managed to break it pretty badly. When we want to do something bad enough, people can do the most amazing things. like Phoenix can bend steel with his utter might. This is where the medium sits, I assume. There are 4 panels on this flooring. The straw in the flooring feels a little damp, probably from the humidity in the air. No matter what I do, my eyes keep getting drawn to this pool in the center here. Oh, there's something else here? This is where the medium sits, I assume. There are 4 panels on this flooring. Yeah, we just had that. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Anything here? I guess this is an altar, whatever it is. It feels very important. Mirror-like object with a cloudy reflective surface. Some branches on a sacred tree must have been set in a predetermined arrangement. I guess that's why they're used during the channeling. The folding screen here is really showing its age. All the edges are a bit tattered. The lettering is fading too. I think I recognize a few of the characters on here. Ryan. Hey, I'm pretty sure that's what it says. Maybe I'll ask Maya about it later. There's some empty space behind the folding screen. The light of the candles can't reach back there, so it's completely dark. There wasn't anyone back here at the time of the murder. That's what Law testified in court. I knew I should have taken a look. I can always count on a Law to make things hard. Okay, and I think that's everything. Let's go talk to Morgan. Have you remembered anything about the murder?
No, I told you everything I know already.
You were in this room the whole time Lotta and I went to call the police?
Yes, of course. I was there by Mystic Maya's side the entire time. I performed the spirit severing technique and held her in my arms afterward.
You said that yesterday as well. Did anything else happen?
I would like to say more did, however, that is all that occurred.
I was really hoping for some new info.
I suppose nothing happened in the end, good sir. Sorry to have played on your hopes.
Could you have possibly been more patronizing? So, do the students train every day?
Yes, absolutely. They were given a day off after the murder, of course, however.
I assume both Maya and Pearls went through this training?
Mr. Wright?
Yes?
Oh, she got really scary real fast. How many times must I tell you, good sir? They are to be addressed as Mystic Maya and Mystic Pearl.
I'm sorry, I meant Mystic Maya and Mystic Pearl. Wait, I'm sorry, but Mystic Pearl, isn't that going a bit too far?
Next question, please.
Oh man, she's really a pain in the butt about this tight kiss kind of stuff.
Please remember to watch not only what you say, but how you say it, good sir.
So the master is, Maya's mother, right?
Mystic Misty is a brilliant medium.
And where is she now?
We are not sure.
Not sure?
About 16 or 17 years ago, Mystic Misty failed at channeling a certain spirit. And after that, she simply disappeared. I don't believe she will return to this village, in any case. In 4 years' time, her name will be forever erased from this village.
Erased?
A person who has been away from the village for 20 years is considered dead.
Oh, I see.
And that is 4 years from now for her. And when that happens, a new master will be appointed to the Karayan village.
And
Mystic Maya was supposed to be the next master. However, within this murder, I'm afraid.
I must be imagining things. I thought she was laughing to herself for a second there. Okay, well, let's present evidence. What do you think about this?
I am terribly sorry, but I'm afraid my spiritual powers are not as strong as you might think. Really am terribly sorry.
But this has nothing to do with your spiritual power. Okay, I'm just gonna go through the, things. What do you think about this? Okay. Oh, whoops, a daisy.
There are six parts to the Quarian's sacred writings. To think that this valued treasure of our village and Mystic Maya were both shot at by a gun. Well, that's... Even if it were something that occurred during a channeling, it is an unforgivable act. This is the key to this room. That's right. But why do you have it, good sir?
That I'm not telling.
Return it at once.
I can't. It's evidence, after all. I think she knows exactly how important this key is to the murder. What is this feeling I'm getting from her? It feels... Can't describe it. Oh, and nearly done. Gains to show her everything.
This is Mystic Maya's costume, isn't it? It's a shame. I never thought anything like that would happen to her. But we don't have what it... we don't know what it was that Maya did. Oh, poor Mystic Maya.
Ever listen to anyone other than yourself?
That is Mystic Maya before I applied the spirit severing technique. This picture, it was taken without my express permission. I knew allowing a person like that from the Heartland into our country was a bad idea.
You realize that from the Heartland is a part of this country as well, right? Yep. Okay, now present people.
Oh, this person. Oh, that is that man, is it not? A man who wishes to borrow a departed spirit's power to hide the lack of his own. What an insignificant man. Let's see how pitiful he died.
Insignificant?
That would mean you are the man's inspiration.
Oh, that's there.
That would mean you are that man's insignificant little friend, dear sir.
And I guess that makes Maya my insignificant little assistant, huh?
Good sir.
Yes?
When did you take a hidden picture of Mystic Maya? What? No. It's not like I like that at all. It's unforgivable. Ow! Why did she slap me? Oh my. I think I may know of this person from somewhere.
It's Mia. You know, Maya's older sister.
Ah, yes, that is who she is.
How could you forget a daughter of the Master?
If memory serves, she became a lawyer. How splendid for her, don't you think?
Soft, kind smile. It's like the kind that tells you a pair of devil horns are not too far away. What do you think of this person? And she got kick off for this one.
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've seen my child today. Would you happen to know where she is, good sir?
No, I wouldn't.
Honestly, take one day off from training and it's near impossible to make it up. But sir, I pray you are not teaching her strange, fiendish things in her time off.
Boy, here comes her anger, and having such a civil conversation too.
Being born as one of the Fey family, but of weak spiritual power, it makes the people of this village look down upon you, you know?
I didn't know that.
I will be alright as long as I have Pearl. I am satisfied because I have my Pearl.
Okay. Seems like there's nothing here. So we haven't got anything to talk about, so we will move on. To the Winding Way. I wasn't there yesterday. Hey, there's someone by the incinerator. Ooh, looks like they've noticed me. And they're now running at top speed towards me. Okay. Does she have the Om on her shirt? If not, it looks very similar to the Om. Hindu symbol for peace, isn't it? I can't remember. I was never really good at RE. Religious education, for those who aren't in the know on that. Anyway.
Oh, hey. Like, you're that dentist guy.
Actually, I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. Nice to see you again.
Oh, like, really suave. Like, it's, my turn. Nice to meet you, too.
So, what's up? You're all out of breath.
Like, oh, hey, like, you mean, like, it's just I'm totally happy and, like, totally excited to be here.
Excited?
Like, I mean, there are so many things to, like, see, and it's, like, the real deal here.
Oh, really? For example?
For example, let's look at that urn over there. Do you like it? Do you, like, know about it?
All I see is an old cracked piece of pottery. Well, let's have a look around the garden first. A splendid garden with a small lamp and traditional decorations. It's a bit small to walk around in. Although that incinerator piques my curiosity. Let's go have a look at it then. That's right, Pearl said she found this key inside the incinerator. I guess I should take a look inside myself. This is from Mystic Maya's costume. There's blood on it. A tiny bit, but still. So, someone tried to burn this. And this key was also found in there. I get the feeling this incinerator played a crucial part in the murder. They burned the body. Of course not. This is the side room. Looks like the guests can use it as a place to take a break when they feel tired. And then let's look at that pot. It's a really old urn. There are ashes from a person long dead inside. Looks like something with a long history. Other than that, it's not very interesting, so time to move on. Okay, let's talk to her. Is there some sort of legend connected with this urn?
Yeah, like, it's the village's treasure.
Oh, didn't know that.
And, like, it's sealed inside that urn.
It's, what are you talking about?
Like, you know, Ami Faye's spirit.
Ami Faye? Who's that?
Like, geez, Mr. Smith, get with the program. Everyone knows that a lady, like, founded the Korean channeling technique was Mystic Ami.
You don't have to get upset with me.
So, like, as long as her spirit, like, lives in that urn, the spiritual power of the Faye's family will stick around. Like, isn't that totally romantic?
Romantic, huh? That one really is important, as she says. It could be a vital clue. Annie, I want to ask you about the murder.
Murder?
Dr. Gray's, remember? As if there's another one.
Oh, that one. Like, you should have said so in the first place. So, like, I totally don't know anything about that because I was, like, sleeping in the side room.
Well, that's not much help. Did you notice anything at all?
But, like, come on, what a total bore. I, like, totally have nothing to do with this, like, murder thing.
Yeah, you only introduced Dr. Gray to Crime Village. Sorry, yawning. You only introduced to Karine Village, no relation, sure. Even if you were acquaintances, that still means you knew him. Oh, Ma, your sister who died in that accident was the nurse at the clinic. And so, let's ask about that traffic accident. Alright then, why don't you tell me about your sister's fatal accident? Just straight up, why not?
Like, why? You think, like, it's got something to do with, like, the murder?
I don't know yet, but I'm trying to chase down every lead I can. And there's the Cyclops.
Like, what is it?
Looks like I'm going to need something to pry our mouth open on this one, because I should. Would you like to take a look at this?
Hey, it's like one of those little badges people in Congress all wear. No, I'm a lawyer. L-A-W-Y-E-R. Like, this is what you are? Like, I'm really sorry, but, and I know, like, you totally had your heart set on it, but I can't, like, take it. I was giving it to you. Okay, just go for everything. Cycle for everything. Eventually we'll get there. Hi Phoenix, by the way. Sorry, I've just not been looking at chat for a little while. This is the Phoenix Wright Justice for All. Like, I'm really sorry, but, and I know, yeah, okay, and this is a small text. So, like, the Karain technique is the real deal. I'm gonna, like, have to write about it in like, my report for school. Okay, so, like, you'll give me this picture for, like, the report, right? No! So then, yep, same thing. And then this, no. Okay, anything, the profiles. What do you know about this person? Ah, well, I skipped over accidentally. She's like in a lot of trouble, huh? She's stealing quick glances at this picture while smiling like a Cheshire cat. But like, this will totally prove the power of channeling. Is this what she's talking about? We know about this person. I'm like, sorry, but it's totally like time for my nap. She even got me yawning. And I like totally don't care about that person anyways. Okay, now we can just cycle through the people. She's like Mystic Maya's cousin, right? Yeah, her name's Pearl. So like, this little kid is like the next master? No? Maya's next in line to be the master. Oh yeah, like, that's right. This is Morgan Fay. Like, she's been totally helpful. She just bowed to the picture? So, what about her? Oh, nothing in particular. I just wanted to know what you knew about her. Oh, what you knew about her. I'm getting my voices mixed up now. Well, she's like a really good person. I see. Like, totally. Alright, this is going absolutely nowhere. This is Faye's. Like, I think I've seen it before. What? You're joking, right? Ah, of course I am, silly. Oh, thank goodness. What do you think about this person? And then she's not gonna tell anything. And then we'll just... I doubt she's gonna tell... she might tell someone about about Amy. Nope. Okay, and then. Let's move into the side room. See if there's anything else. Bedding is all laid out here today, too. Guess I'll leave them alone for now. And it's a small alcove. I have no idea what it's supposed to mean or symbolize. If I had one of these in the office, it would end up as a storage space. But here it's decorated with some pretty flowers and a beautiful hanging scroll. Excuse me? Who am I talking to? There's no one in here. And then there's the bear thing. It looks like a bear, right? With a fish in its mouth. It's a decorative wooden bear sculpture. There's a plate attached to the base. Karain Village. The heart of channeling. What the? It's a souvenir. So does this mean it's easy to spot bears here? And for them to spot you? Very ominous. It's still charming to see a real sliding door like this in person. From here, I can see the winding way in the little garden in the courtyard. Okay, and now probably what's going to give us more clues. I keep wondering about this box. I'm sure this wasn't here before the murder took place. Looks like a box for storing clothes, but it's pretty big for just clothes. It's mostly empty. Got a few folded pieces of channeling costumes sit at the bottom. Okay, and so that's really nothing that helps me at this point in time. So I feel like now we're probably gonna have to present some stuff to
to these guys unless I find anything else. Let's head back to my law office. This case has had me out of the office most of the time. I can come back tomorrow. Helping Maya should be my top priority now. No, we got information on Charlie and stuff. My desk. I keep it neat for those on occasions when I actually have a client in the office. Difficult-looking legal books stand in a formidable row. They mock me. Actually, I neglected them for so long their layer of dust has started to form. One of these days, I should try and build on the courage. I should build up the courage to read one, maybe. Poster of a TV station, the Steel Samurai. Maya stuck it up there right before she left. I won't say that the Steel Samurai had an attorney's office, or the Steel Samurai and the attorney's office are a good match, but Maya threatened to curse me and put some magic spells, so I guess it can stay. And Charlie, yeah, there's Charlie. A quiet, decorative plant. A handful, but I've grown quite attached to this little fella. It also helps me remember all the good things, all the good times with Mia. There's a giant building just outside the window. It's the Gatewater Hotel, a high-class luxury hotel. Till recently, it had been the normal business-class hotel. And then now we can leave to go to the detention center, because there's nothing else here. Maya's probably not here, though. Oh, she is.
Hey, Nick. I've been waiting.
She looks so helpless.
So, how was it? What did you find out?
Well, found a few things.
So bad that you can't even look at me in the eye?
I know, I just need a little more time. It'll all come together by tomorrow, I promise.
Sorry, Nick. Every time I see you, all I do is cause trouble.
Well, let's look at this guy. Guard monitors the visitor's room. I wonder if he's bored. Not that I can tell since he never looks over this way. Does it smile for candid camera? Yeah. So how was it? Today's trial, I mean.
You were fantastic, Nick. Every time I thought our goose was cooked, you managed to turn it all around and, you know...
Do what you usually do. BS your way into, you know, another day.
I bet it would make a great Hollywood movie.
Don't be silly. We have to concentrate on the trial, and we're going to win this, Maya.
Thanks a lot, really. Hey, Nick. The person who shot at Dr. Gray wasn't me, was it?
Of course not. You're completely innocent.
If that were true, then I'd be really happy, but there wasn't anyone else in that room but with the two of us, right?
Well, you did check behind the folding... Did you check behind the folding screen?
I took a quick glance, but there wasn't anyone there.
It's exactly what Lotta said.
Nick?
Yeah?
Why do you believe in me? Why do you believe I didn't kill Dr. Gray?
Because of something Mia told me.
My sis? What did she tell you?
She said that spirit mediums can't have dreams. When you're channeling, it's impossible for you to dream because your soul leaves you.
Now that you mention it, wait, then am I really, am I...
Can't remember the lines. You're not the real murderer. I think that maybe before you even channeled the spirit, you were drugged.
Drugged?
I think that this was planned from the very beginning, and you were set up to take the blame for killing Dr. Gray.
That's...
An actual decent fairy. Well done, Phoenix. I wanted to ask you something about Pearls.
Pearly? What about her?
No matter what I try, she won't answer me. I want to know what she was doing at the time of the murder.
Huh? Wait, Nick? You don't think she did it, did you?
No, nothing like that.
She'd never do anything like that, you hear me? Never. She's a great kid and really cute and really great. And cute.
I really didn't think she was the murderer. Well, she's definitely hiding something. You're with her on that day, right?
Yeah. Just the two of us. We're playing with her ball.
Ball, huh? Sounds like a dead end to me. Well, dead end, you'll keep asking it, won't you? So about this ball.
It's nothing really special, it's just a plain old ball. I think she was still playing with it when I started the channeling job that day. Pearly really loves to play with that ball. She loves to play with her ball, huh? When she wants to get it, she always climbs right into the clothing box.
The clothing box.
Yeah, Pearly's always hiding in there. You know the side room? There's a clothing box in there. It's really big, so once you see it, I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about.
Clothing box in the side room, huh? He's doing the snake thing where he he takes half of someone else's sentence and then just repeats it back to them.
It's the same as the last time I saw it. You just like to show that thing off, don't you, Nick? And aren't you thrilled to be a lawyer?
That's not what I meant by it, but I don't really think about it. I sort of shove it in people's faces. Force of habit, I guess. Just shove it 2 inches from someone's face all the time. That's how you introduce yourself in conversation.
I can't think of anything special about it.
Okay, cycle through. What's a daisy?
That hole, it looks awful lot like a bullet hole.
That's probably what it is.
That's terrible. How could this happen to such an important screen?
Instead of dwelling on the hole, let's focus on the fact you weren't shot.
Hey, you're right. So I was the one who was about to get shot, huh? That's terrible. Who'd want to shoot little old me?
Me, for one, but that's besides the point. I guess she didn't realize she was the one being shot until now.
Ah, that's the channeling chambers. This is the only one in the world, right?
Oh, this is the only one in the world, right?
Yeah. During the trial, I was kind of wondering why you had it.
I got it from Pearls.
That's weird. I swear I locked the door and then put the key into one of my pouchy sleeves.
Your sleeve? And how and when did your sleeve leave the room? It doesn't grow a pair of legs. Yeah. Definitely a ninja.
I wonder where Pearly found that key.
She used sleight of hand and got it out of there somehow. She's a magician, don't you know?
That's a knife from my family's kitchen. I'll never be able to use it again.
It's alright, I'll buy you a new one, okay?
Yeah, that's not the point. I don't ever want to see another knife. Ever again.
Well, good luck chopping up your food.
That's mine, isn't it?
Damn it, I upset her again.
It was really me, wasn't it? Wasn't it, Nick?
No, wasn't.
This is me, right? Guess I really did shoot Dr. Gray.
That's not you.
Is too.
Is not.
Is too. Is too.
I should have kept this pitch to myself. Okay. I found this.
What is it?
I'm not too sure myself, but I found it just now inside the furnace.
Huh? Is it trash burning day already?
It's not something I would know about. Guess she didn't notice the bloodstain. Probably better that way.
That's the guy I killed.
I'm sorry. Why did I pull that picture out?
I can't face myself.
I should have known better.
What am I supposed to do, sis? Felt terrible during the questioning session. I mean, Gumshoe kept looking at me. All these sad eyes. Pearly, she definitely has more than me.
What? What are you talking about?
Who I think the next master should be. I mean, she's got more spiritual power than me. And she really works hard at her training.
Way to go, Phoenix. Way to bring the mood down even further.
I can't face my aunt right now. Not that this has not now that this has happened. It's all right, Maya. I'm sure that she understands. She's on our side after all. Yeah, I know, but still.
So what do you think about this person? I guess I can't expect to know things she doesn't know about.
That's Lotta, right?
That girl is still after this next sensational photo.
Yeah, I guess some things never change.
And then Francisca.
So she's Prosecutor Von Karma's daughter, huh?
Looks like it.
Well then. She'd know about that person, right?
That person? Talk about Edgy Boy? Yeah, talk about him. It's alright. We don't need to talk about that right now. And then Mr. Kami?
Mr. Kami? She's a legendary spirit medium. I like the way the word sounds, legendary. Ever since I was young, I dreamed of being a legend.
Well, this murder will make you into a legend of some sorts. I probably shouldn't say that last part out loud, though. I think that's everything, and Chet doesn't ask us to talk about her anymore, so... back to Crime Village. Oh, Lotta's here. Brilliant.
Aha! Aha! Hey, wait, please, Lotta.
She ran off into the into the manor. Okay. Lotta.
Ah! Hey! I'm telling you, quit following me, you hear? It's a worthless piece. I'm a worthless piece of trash. You lay your eyes on me and they'll turn to dust.
Okay.
Hey, Morgan. Yes, what is it? And must you be so noisy? We have a rule here. The hallway is not for running. Now then, in a calm manner, ask your question.
Okay, and anyway. Did you see Lotta come by here?
Ah, that girl from the Heartland? I'm sorry, but she did not pass through here at any point in time.
Lotta. Sure know how to waste a man's time. We talk to her. We can show that little piece of stuff, can't we? What do you think about this? No. She gave me nothing. Well, that means she must have gone to the Winding Way. And we've already talked to her, I think, about everything, so now we move on to the side room. She has to be in here. And now the ball's here. Did she nick the ball? Pretty sure I saw Lotta run in this direction. But it doesn't look like she's in here. Oh, I do protest to that, Phoenix. It's Pearl's ball. Maya said it was always kept in the clothing box. But then, what's it doing on the floor? Okay, well, we got the ball. It's the clothing box where Pearl's ball is usually kept. I wonder what's inside. A person. What? What were you doing in there? And what were you thinking?
I'm a bad person. Just another piece of human trash. I needed a hole to crawl into.
So you crawled into this clothing box because there wasn't a hole to crawl into. Okay. There's a small hole in this clothing box. It's about 8 inches off the ground. That's the same height that as the hole in the folding screen. Then could this mean? Huh. The clothing box where Pearl keeps her ball. I thought I may. I thought I felt my soul take off for a second when Lotta jumped out at me. So it's big enough to fit a grown adult. Well, if it can be called, if she can be called an adult. Okay. I guess we try and find her again then.
Oh, Mr. Nick, that person ran by here just now.
What person?
You know, the person with the fluffy cotton candy hair. Ah, she means love. You said, don't look at me with them eyes. But I'm not that scary, am I?
I don't think that's quite what she meant.
That's right. She also wanted me to tell you. I'm going on a trip to find myself, so don't you bother finding me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We talked to Pearl. So is Lotta outside? Okay, so she's gone. I think we have to try the Magatama now. We've got enough evidence, I feel like, to get some truth out of her. Pearl, behold this magic number 9 I have in my hand. You will tell me everything. You are compelled to tell the truth. Pearl, you have to tell me what you were doing when the murder happened, okay?
But what if I can't tell you what happened?
And I'll guess what happened. How about that?
You can do that?
You'll tell me if I guess something right, won't you?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Now the murder was taking place, you were... I want to say here, but I'm going to save because I'm on 1 health and I don't trust myself to not screw up. I refuse to have to do the gameplay for all of this again. And I assume I'm right, because Maya said so. So you were here. Okay, and there's one. You were here, weren't you, Pearls? In the winding way.
Wow. You got it.
So, do you think you can tell me now?
I'm sorry. Not yet.
Okay. Alright, what next? Okay, and I think I know what you were doing there.
You really know that much?
Well, I am a lawyer, you know. Now, what was it that Pearls was doing in the winding way? She was probably playing football, like Maya said. You were playing with this ball, right?
Ah, that's right. How did you know?
Maya told me that you love to play with your ball.
Yeah, I was playing with my ball.
Uh-huh, and then... something happened, huh? Something really bad.
What do you mean something? Nothing happened.
This is it. While you're playing with your ball, this happened. What happened? I don't know. There's nothing here that makes sense. I don't think I have enough evidence. Maybe I'll try with thingy instead then. Beautiful. Traffic accident. Right. Please tell me about the traffic accident.
Huh? Like, whose accident?
Your sister's accident? Naturally.
Oh yeah. So like, that Dr. Gray guy made my sister fall asleep, and like, that's all I have to say about that.
Interesting. And he just asked, whose accident? Which means she must know something about another person's accident. Alright, let's change the topic then. How about you tell me about a certain other person's accident?
Huh? Another person's accident? Like, have you got someone else in mind?
This one, probably?
Like, so, that person had a car accident too?
Can't tell me that things you don't know.
Like, how would I know that if your person like that had an accident?
Oh.
Well, besides, I'm not like... I'm an occult... Yeah.
If you push yourself anymore, your soul will shatter.
Yeah, okay.
Let's try it again. Okay, so another accident? Okay, let's skip all this. Because I thought she was talking about the accident her sister had with when people died. Which made sense. The only other accident I can think of is this one. That one doesn't count because that's the one she was talking about. Oh, whoops, daisy. Hit my pop filter over. Or is it asking for a person? That would make more sense, actually. Who'd you have in mind? Like... Dr. Gray's accident? God damn it. Can you just give it me? Yeah, that's what I assumed. Just have to go through this text each and every time, and because I sort of screwed up on the last one. When I was in court. I've not got many chances. Sister's accident. Oh yeah, so... The grey guy made my sister fall asleep. Interesting, what about accident, which means she must know about another person's accident. Let's change topic then. Who would you like to talk about? So if it's not Dr. Gray... I don't understand. I think I am missing something, but I don't know what, because I've literally shown everybody everything, so unless I'm missing something... Oh, I guess I missed the pot. The spirit medium in this urn, huh? All I see is a bunch of cracks, and maybe the spirit could live in this space between the cracks. Looks like something's written on it. I am. Weird. Oh, I think I know what I'm meant to do now. Hang on. I was missing that from Pearl's thing. I think that's what was meant to happen. Okay, and I think I've got it. Okay. We know where she was. She was in the Winding Way. I mean, making a Shadow the Hedgehog reference, if you're referencing the game, I reckon respect you, because that game is... I mean, it's... Only the true edgy boys can really play Shadow the Hedgehog. They can't handle, you know, the people... The standard man would cut themselves on the edge of Shadow the Hedgehog, the video game. For how goddamn stupid it is. I have a GIF actually on my phone that I use sometimes of it, and it's from Shadow the Hedgehog of the president. Oh, the song from it? Okay. I can't remember any of the music from it. It's been ages since I've seen it, but I remember a GIF that I sent to my mate to prove that, like, it was something stupid, like, because there's a scene in Shadow the Hedgehog where you see the president and he has a framed picture of Shadow and Sonic, and because it was so dumb, my mate wouldn't believe me, so I had to remember, like, find it, and then found that little GIF, and I've still got it on my phone to this day. And what was Pearl's doing in the Winding Way? She was playing with her phone. Not playing with the ball. Sorry, I'm talking about my phone. Something happened too. I think I know what happened. Did you break the jar? This urn is a village treasure, right? The spirit of the founder of the crying technique is sealed in here, isn't it? Yeah. What's this? It's cracked all over, isn't it? There's even a few gaps here and there. Please don't tease me. Pearl, you broke the sacred urn, didn't you? You smacked the ball into it and knocked it over, right? And if Morgan found out, she'd be really mad, huh? Doesn't seem to be fighting back. I think I've hit the bullseye here. But it's strange that the lock hasn't broken yet.
It's a really old urn, isn't it?
I guess.
It's so old. So it's not that weird. It could have a few cracks.
Voice is shaking. How can you tell the urn has been broken? Because it says I am on it and you can't spell. Really sorry, I don't want to be mean, but... Oh, what? Am I not allowed to say that? God damn it. Am I not allowed to have that? It's... You can't spell. God damn it. I have to go through this all again. Yeah, it's true. Also, but isn't every character in Sonic the Hedgehog's feet ginormous? Okay, it's got to zip through this. Winding way. Now Pearl was playing with her ball in the winding way, as we all know. Well, I thought I just put the ball in. God damn. I probably didn't put the ball in, didn't I? Yeah, I put the orb in, you absolute idiot. Ooh, my voice is getting scratchy. Okay, now we'll select the ball. I wish you could just skip to the part where you were last time. You were playing with the ball when this happened. Yep. Yep, keep it going. Mm-hmm. Hmm. How can I tell if the cycle... Oh, if the urn is broken? Hmm. So I did use the urn and present that, right? And then that didn't give it me. So I assume, do I have to present, like, Mystic Amy? Because that's her name. And it's spelled I am. That's the only other thing I could think it being. Yep. Silence is beautiful. Who started the crying channeling technique?
Huh? Oh, that's Mystic Amy.
That's right, and how do you know how to spell her name? Do you know?
Do I know how to spell her name? I don't know.
Spelled A-M-I. I thought it was a little odd when I saw I am written on the urn.
That's how I knew that
And that's how I knew that someone had broken this urn. And made a mistake in spelling when they put it back together again. Means they're an idiot or a child. Oh, there we go. Got some health back when I inevitably screw up again.
Around when Mystic Maya started the channeling on that day, I was playing in the winding way with my ball. That's when you...
And that's when you broke the urn?
Yeah, I broke it. Accidentally let Mystic Ami's spirit fly away.
Don't worry, Morgan will never know, okay?
I'm a bad child. Breaking a village treasure is unforgivable. I thought that maybe they would make me leave the village. But the broken pieces were really big, so...
You thought you could put it back together again, and no one will notice?
Yeah. I found some glue in the hallway and fixed the air in there.
The hallway? You mean the winding way?
channeling had already started, so I didn't think anyone would walk by.
I see. How long did it take? You must have been a nasty repair job.
Yeah, I may be strong at spiritual things. When it comes to arts and crafts, I'm not nearly as skilled. When I had fixing the urn and looked up, I saw you coming to the manor.
And that's around when Laura and I were coming back inside after reporting the murder.
When I saw that, I packed up everything in a hurry. So, Mr. Nick?
What is it, Pearls?
I'm going to get banished, aren't I?
I really don't think that's going to happen.
I mean,
I bet Mr. Kami's happy to be free from that cramped urn.
yeah, I hope so.
No harm done and a happy resolution. Oof. Okay. So do we snitch on her to her mother, maybe? Yeah, she's giving us nothing. So maybe not. And I can't think we have anything with Eeny, Miny, or whatever her name is. Maybe we show the thing to Maya, maybe? Whew. I think I found everything I can. I can't see how it all adds up. And is Eeny, Meeny? I have no idea how to pronounce that at all. Being here just a coincidence?
Hey, mister.
How is that spiritual doctor? How is that the spirit Dr. Gray wanted to call just happened to be that nurse? And the nurse turns out to be Eeny's sister too. It's too convenient.
Hey, Phoenix, I'm talking to you.
I'm assuming it's Lotta going off the talking. Wish I knew a little more about Eeny, but where am I gonna find info like that?
Oh, I get it. You can't be bothered to look over a trash like me. Is that it, Mr. High and Mighty?
Ah, Lotta.
Oh, so you finally noticed.
I thought I heard a mosquito buzzing in my ear, although I couldn't understand a word.
Well, I gotta hand it to you. You sure know how to chase down garbage. I mean, I'm grateful to you for chasing that large lump of one around like this.
Thanks?
You know, you're wasting your time. I'll be fine on my own.
What are you going on about? As if following or chasing or whatever it is you're doing.
Well, you see, you're not exactly a real gentleman with a lady's heart, are you?
You're not exactly the world's #1 charmer either, sister.
Okay. Look, I'm really dang sorry about today. When I get all fired up about something, it's impossible to stop me.
You hurt Maya really badly, Lotta.
I don't suppose you could forgive a gal like me.
I mean, I'm too nice. I'll forgive her. Well, I guess I can. You did help out Maya too, after all.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm still
what?
No, it's nothing at all. Just talking myself, you know, gibberish. Now then, lot of heart at your service. I'll share with you all the dirt I've dug up.
Thank you?
Hey, don't be all surprised. Tell you what, I'll even give you all this info for free.
Lotta's not talking about money? Now I know this one's an alien clone. If Maya's not the real murderer, then who do you think it is, Lotta?
Well, heck, ain't it obvious? Is that a cult freak?
I mean, I'm just gonna call it Eeny Meeny.
Eeny Meeny? Well, there ain't anybody else it could be, right? Heck, Granny, you and me were all together that whole time.
So Lotta suspects Eeny, which means she might have already found some information on our mysterious Eeny.
Present everything. Nope, don't know anything about that. Things that don't catch my eye don't catch my interest.
She calls herself a journalist? Oh, this clipping.
You listen here, boy, and listen good. You can't go looking around at an old piece of paper, you hear? People got eyes on the front side. You know what? They see right in front of themselves, not behind. So that's it. So how about it? You feeling my energy? Nope, not even an electron. Okay, and then she's gonna give me the same lecture here. I know she's meant to be asking us probably about eeny meeny, but I just want to go for if there's any additional dialogue. You think I could have had the guts to carry one of these around? Celebrity photographer with a gun, you think that'd work? Bang bang? Nah, thanks, but nah, I can't see myself like that. So if you want to defend yourself, you know, you gotta be a reporter. Maybe you need a weapon. Ah, there's a blood on it. Get that away from me. Where'd you get that showing off stuff like that to me? Oops, guess that was wrong to show her. And what does she have to say about the photos? So I'm a real natural, ain't I? I caught the murder just right, and even managed to make it mysterious. Mysterious? All you managed to do is forget your focus your lens. Shut up, that's my technique. My technique now, you hear? Same here, I'm assuming. Nope, nothing about that. Nothing about the ball. Nothing about this. And nothing about the urn. Hey, ain't that Dr. Gray guy? It's a pity what happened to him. He's scared when ghouls and ghosts can do that to a man, huh? God rest his poor soul. Since when does law so religious? Now, this kid, I think she needs to be taught some manners. Here's her second time in this stew, right? My pa would have slapped me straight. Yeah. You know what they say, if there's a second time, there's bound to be a third. And a fourth. Well, I've not played the... Yeah, no, there was definitely a third time, actually. So, I don't know if there's a fourth. I've not played the later games after Apollo Justice. Yeah, just slap me. I get it. I swear I've seen that face before, maybe during that last case. Whenever something happens, that detective guy's always there. I wonder if he's the real baddie behind everything. Somehow, I highly doubt it. I overlooked this little child. What do you mean? I mean, I didn't think it, but you know how it's always them silent types? Wait. Little attack's nothing but a ball of happy goodness, right? So I reckon she's the type to have done it. Well, now, that's just how the world works. I don't think this has anything to do with how the world works. That old lady sure can be forceful. She scared me that day. Well, only a little now, you hear? Yeah, that's Eeny Meeny, right? Yeah, I was wondering if you know anything about this girl. You know, actually, I did do a little checking up on her the other day. Her sister, she's the one that Dr. Gray wanted to call back from the spirit world. Yeah, I heard as much. I also heard that Eeny was the one who introduced Dr. Gray to Karine Village. You don't say. That's one sneaky gal if you ask me. Hey, you want me to tell you more about her? You know, I'm begging to get sick of this hairstyle. Next time I go to the salon, I'm gonna get my hair straightened, I reckon. What do you think, Phoenix? If you got rid of your afro, I wouldn't recognize who you were. Yeah, that's kind of a problem, ain't it? Please, can we just count some more important stuff, say the murderer? Hey, that's that prosecutor gal. The one that likes breaking all the rules. Switches are for horses and lights, not people. How's that? I made a pretty clever pun, didn't I? Sorry if I didn't hear you. Oh well, I'll forgive the wax in your ears this once. Tell you one more time. Okay, and then nothing about that. So, there must be something that's opened up about her. Speaking of Eeny, do you have any other information about her? Sure. Well, what is it? He'll cost you, and he'll cost a lot. Oh, silly me. Here's I thought that free meant no money necessary. That girl was hospitalized about half a year ago. Hospitalized? But why? Well, heck, you can go find out on your own. Huh? Here, I'll give you the clinic's address. Maybe you can find out something. Maybe. What's that supposed to mean? Well, see, actually, it was gonna be annoying, I reckon, and I didn't actually have to go there. Well, that's the way the gumbo spoils, right? Spoiled gumbo sounds, ooh. I mean, look, don't blame this on, oh, never mind. Looks like I don't have much choice. Better go to Hottie Clinic. And away we go. So this is where he was hospitalized.
Yes?
Oh wait, no, I know what this. Hey, you here to visit a patient? No, it'd be more like a weak voice, like a dopey voice probably. Oh yeah, you a doctor here?
Yes, I'm Director Hottie. Ho ho ho.
I think I'd have to be speaking with the director himself.
Yes, so, what can I help you with, huh?
I'd like to ask a few questions about Eeny Meeny.
Miss Meanie? You mean Miss Eeny Meeny? Yeah. Oh, her. Too bad. Tell you something, that girl left here a long time ago.
Here you are, sir. You know, you shouldn't be up and about. Come on, it's back to your room with you.
Ah, Sweetums, calm down. Don't be so harsh to an old man like me.
Don't you dare start with the Sweetums thing with me. Don't behave, you'll get yourself tossed out of this hospital. Oh, I didn't think nurses could be this direct or forceful to the boss. Come now. Be a good boy and give me the director's white lab coat.
Okay, I got it. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, me. Who in the world are you?
I'm Director Hottie.
This nurse went off somewhere. Oh, the inhumanity. The only person I can talk to is this guy. Examine stuff. This is the clinic's reception desk, but it doesn't look like there's anyone at the counter. On the wall, there's this month's words to the wise, do something in vain, and your only reward is tiredness. Not exactly the best thing to be telling your patients, is it? No, nothing here. You have a broken leg. This patient's undergoing rehab. And look at the strained face, twisting all ways. That oily sweat. His whole body's swaying back and forth. The wobble like he's about to fall. Hey, don't cut into my monologue like that. I'm explaining things here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, huh? I didn't even realize it. Didn't pick up on the fact that he was monologuing for me. This must be the waiting area. It's gotta be the feeling of one and there's sofas lined up here. I don't see at all that many patients.
Yeah. It's the quality, not the quantity that counts.
What in the world did that have to do with anything? And an exit? I wonder what that door leads to.
Oh, that's the x-ray room. Yeah.
How did you know what I was thinking?
Well, it's especially the x-ray room.
There's something very peculiar about this guy. I know it's not me. And that's everything? Okay, buddy. Tell me about what I need to know. So what exactly do you treat in this clinic?
We, treat all sorts of, doctory clinical stuff. Yeah.
Doctory clinical stuff?
Well, I don't actually know about or particularly care about the details. Yeah, well, what's that look for? Yeah, there's really a big general hospital around the corner, huh? And they can't accommodate everyone, they, move some of the patients here, Do surgeries here, right?
Oh, sorry, no. They do surgeries here, right?
Yeah. We, do some plastic surgery here, it seems.
It seems.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Okay, let's tell us about Eeny. How do you know about Eeny Meeny? Oh, I don't like what he's doing with his hands.
Ah, he's a bit, he's creeping me out at the minute.
Now you're talking, yeah, that girl, she was transferred from the General Hospital.
From the general hospital to here? What kind of surgery did she need?
Yeah, well, she needs surgery. It was really bad. Really bad.
So what kind was it?
Yeah, no, well, you see, that's something I can't tell you.
So you can say with a happy smile. So you can say with a happy smile on your face, Mr. Director.
See, there's this thing about doctors on to talk to the other people about patient stuff. You know, there's all those TV shows, right? You've seen them, right?
I'm never gonna get this guy to unzip his I'm never gonna get him to unzip those broken zipper teeth at this rate. Damn, Phoenix. There's gotta be someone I can show to get out of this guy.
What's this?
I'm a lawyer right now. I'm investigating a murder.
What's with the angry face? Violence isn't the answer. Yeah.
Trial's tomorrow, and I'd really like some information from you.
Is that right? Well, I think I can let you on a little secret.
What's that?
Well, actually, I'm not the real director.
You kidding? Anyone with half a fly's brain knew that.
Huh? What do you mean?
I have to explain this to him.
Oh, hold on. I'll give you something. Real information, okay?
Okay.
Well, actually, this clinic, see, like, this place? Walking Dictionopedia.
You mean walking encyclopedia?
Yeah, that. My speciality is in young, silky smooth, haughty patients. Oh, come on.
Why is this... okay. So we got a creep.
There's nothing I don't know about him, but you get embarrassed talking about it.
So... well, that kind of information you keep to yourself.
Oh. Anyway, you wanted to know about little Eeny Meeny, right?
Yes? Well, this eeny meeny?
That girl, I remember especially well, really, really well.
Please tell me what you know about eeny meeny.
Well, I'll get to that, trust me, I will. That girl, right? She was transferred here from the General Hospital. That was, a year ago. She was one of the emergency cases.
What was she ill with?
Nah, she was injured, not ill. With trained eye, I could see what a huge wound at that.
A huge injury?
Whole body was wrapped around in bandages, and her arm was in a cast.
That sounds pretty severe, alright.
It was an accident. An accident, yeah. Scary, yeah. Cars,
Car? You mean she was in a traffic accident?
Yeah, that's what gave her those terrible injuries. Swore in the papers, Looked it up, it was terrible.
Dare I even ask what is wrong with this old guy? Just now, you mentioned something about a big operation.
You talking about Meanie's operation?
Yeah, Miss Eenie's.
Well, it was one heck of an accident. Yeah, the whole face was burned like bad toast. It was very bad.
Albert, is it really that bad?
It's a good thing Miss Eenie had a picture of herself. I heard that picture was how they put her face back together.
Picture?
That girl, she got her license. And she just happened to have a license photo on her.
Oh.
So you see, I got her picture here, the way to remember her, yeah, more like, swiped.
Breach of ethics? So wait.
What? Pretty girl like her? Bet she has lots of pictures of herself. It's a treasure. My treasure. My precious.
Okay, and Simp, calm down. What happened to the actual license itself?
Who knows? Didn't bother to ask. It got burned up along with a car.
In her license photo. We got some at least. So you looked up the information on Eenie's accident, correct?
Yep, sure did. I read every paper that covered her at the time.
What kind of accident was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, hold on, I'll get it for you. The article, I mean.
Oh, you have it?
Well, don't get me wrong, I thought something like this might come up, so, Obsessive to the max. But I bet I could learn about how to stay on lead from this guy. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. According to this, Missini was in the passenger seat.
Passenger seat, huh?
Dozing, or so it says. Strong jolt woke her up, and the next minute a sea of fire was all around her. Missini fought with the door and finally got it open. Guess somehow managed to get away. Anyway, read all the details in this article. Yeah.
Cool. New clue, I should probably look this over.
Half a year since Missini had her surgery and got better. She was discharged sometime in December last year.
It's already been half a year, huh?
Oh yeah. How was I? It was a real help, wasn't I?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, well, came back to my room then. Tell Missini I said hi, okay?
Oh, I wanted to ask you non sequiturs. Oh well, it's time for me to leave too, and it's definitely time for me to leave. Yep, okay, and I'm out of here. Back to Eni. We probably have enough info on her now. Hey, so how was it? Did you go to the clinic? Yeah, I found out a few things, I guess. What's the matter? You ain't looking too hot. Oh, well, so earlier that old granny called the cops. And the cops? Why would Morgan call the police? Bet she had something to tell them. Things are sure getting interesting. Yeah, but honestly, I tell you, that granny sure got her bloomers in a knot. Well, I guess you could put it that way. It always starts out small, you know? Stealing the master's seat, controlling the village folk. And now you see what it's turned into? Murder. That's what. What a mess. Hey, hold on. What? That stuff you were just talking about, that's the first time I've heard of it. Oh, really? Well, it's old news to everyone else in the world. Well, excuse me for not keeping up with the gossip while I'm busy saving people. You said there was something about stealing the master's seat. Yep. Right now, the master is the medium named Mr. Fay, but the one that really was supposed to be the master was that old granny. Morgan was supposed to become the master. Interesting. You know where Eni is, Law? Yeah, I saw her not too long ago. She hanging around that garden in the middle. Oh, thanks. Got something to ask her? Yeah, I got a whole list of things only she can clear up for me. So I hear the master's always been the eldest daughter. Eldest daughter? Turns out that old bat is Mr. Fay's older sister. Oh. Say the older sister is actually the one with the more spiritual power. Come to think of it, Maya said the same thing a long time ago. She warned me not to take Mia's powers lightly. Well, anyway, somehow Granny lost to her younger sister, Misty. I see. This made the townsfolk turn against her, so I hear, said all sorts of things too, like she's the oldest and yet she doesn't have the power to be the next master. Disgraceful. Huh, I had no idea. So what would have happened if Morgan been stronger? Maya's family would have been the Branch family, I reckon. Interesting. Nope. Okay, well, she doesn't know anything about that. And we can show her this guy if I wanted to. And I think we're done with her now. Okay, and I've got to talk to... Well, Morgan's not here, so there's a shop. Go to the Winding Way. Hey, like, I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah. I think I have enough time to finally unlock a secret. Like, what's with your scary-looking face? Okay, let me just look up the evidence we got. Okay, right, I think I know what I'm gonna do. Present 9. The number 9 in your face. Okay, and we've been through this once, we know what she says. You have someone in mind? Her accident. Your own accident. Tell me now. I want to ask you about your own car accident. Me? Yeah.
So, like, how strange. I have no idea what you're talking about. Can you, like, prove I was in, like, a car accident? Oh boy, do I. If I can find it. This one, right? Crash late in the car divide, flame wreckage, ongoing investigation, reveals the driver falling asleep at the wheel. Yep, and then holds it in view about crash. I was totally tired and dropped off to sleep. There was this crash. I woke up in a huge sea of flames. Still half asleep. I opened the car door and got out. I don't remember like anything else. It was Miss Eenie Meenie, is to believe. Tried the one. It was a sister, Meenie. He was a nurse and actually overlooked the death. Okay, and this one. Would you take a look at this? It's a newspaper article from a year ago. It says Miss Eenie Meenie holds interview about crash. Ah. He suffered a very bad injury and it had to be admitted to hospital, correct? Like, wait. What now? That's not me. Huh? I mean, like, the person that has the same name, but she's totally not me. My name's Eenie Meenie and this is, like, pretty common. What in the world are you babbling about? My sister's name is Meenie Meenie. Right? Like, totally, wow. What a scary coincidence. I'm not totally getting, like, goosebumps. I think I'm going to let you get away with that. So now what? Like, do you have something that totally says I was hospitalized? Not say she was hospitalized? Well, this does. I have testimony that says otherwise. Here's your proof. Like, what's that picture supposed to mean? Oh, that's from the hospital where you were hospitalized at. So? There was a certain patient there, he's quite a fan. As a memento of your stay, he stole this. I have to say, this photo looks like you. That creepy fake director. One down, boys. Now, are you ready to tell me about the accident? Like, wait a second. So, I was like in an accident, sure. That's like totally not related to this murder. Actually, it is. Look at this article. It says that one of the women died, correct? And the woman who died, who do you think they mean? Suppose the woman who died in that accident could be. Well, it's got to be the sister, right? I'm not that stupid. I'm pretty stupid, but I'm not stupid. I believe it was your sister, Meenie Meenie. Mimi? You were riding in your sister's car while she drove. Two of you were together when your accident occurred, making it one and the same. There we go. Give me my health back, please. So I can screw up in court tomorrow. Yeah, I was riding in that car with my sister. We were like on our way home. I was riding in the passenger seat when I fell asleep. That might be my thumbnail. And then it happened. At the time, I grabbed at my purse and escaped from the passenger side door. And your sister? I, like, couldn't do anything. The car was full of smoke and I couldn't see anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Did Dr. Gray really cause that accident by drugging your sister with sleeping pills? Like, he was totally out to get my sister. Totally did that too, like, to pay my sister back. Huh, I wonder. Just give Eenie a pretty good reason to want to murder Dr. Gray. Haha, it seems simple, doesn't it? What do you mean? But it would be very hard to catch me. Actually, I'd say impossible. What? I think you get the picture. I'm going to serve you a slice of humble pie. I hope you enjoy it. Haha. What? Okay.
He obviously knows something that we don't. Looks like something's up.
Stop! Leave my mother alone.
Ow! Hey, hold on, pal. I'm not gonna hurt.
Pearl, dear, it's perfectly all right. I'll be out for a short while with this young man. Mother, please let go too. No, you must stay here and protect the manor. But
Oh, don't make that face. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll show you something cool. Look, it's a real pistol.
Detective, don't upset me further.
Ah, sorry.
Poor Gumshoe. Being dragged off by the ale like that by Morgan.
Mother,
Hey, what happened, Pearl?
Mother, this never happened before.
Pearls?
Mr. Nick, I have a really bad feeling that I can't shake. I think something really bad is going to happen. I'm scared, really scared, Mr. Nick.
Say something, Phoenix. Anything. I'm terrible at this.
Mr. Nick, what about Mystic Maya?
She'll be alright. I think we've gathered enough evidence.
Mystic Maya, she must feel all alone. Please, Mr. Nick, go visit her.
Yeah, but I can't leave you here all by all alone either.
I'll be fine. Please, Mystic Maya needs you by her side.
Stare's really piercing. Ugh. Well, I guess we gotta go see Maya then.
Kept me waiting. Oh, you kept me waiting, Phoenix.
Ah, hello.
So, how are the preparations?
I think I have enough evidence and information now. I think.
Everything will be on your shoulders tomorrow. Whether Maya is found guilty or innocent, it's a heavy weight to bear.
Well, speaking of weights to bear, I'm not gonna finish that. If memory serves, Mia had a few cyclocks of her own. Mia? Ready to unlock the last piece of information I need now.
Sure, I welcome you to try.
Oh, bother. Mia?
Yeah?
Mia, you know something, don't you? About the real murderer. I mean... Yeah, there it is.
Why do you think so?
Really trying at times to be able to see other people's secrets.
Looks like it's time for you to explain your reasoning.
Yeah, battle of wits against Mia. In tomorrow's trial.
Still a whole lot of there's still a whole slew of questions for you to answer before the trial tomorrow.
You mean like, how did the real murderer get into the room and kill Dr. Gray?
Yeah. Also, when did the murderer enter the channeling chamber? You guys were all standing around in front of the room after the channeling started. Which means the murderer must have gone into that room before the channeling. Well, that's what I think in any case.
But Maya's already said there wasn't anybody else in the room.
That's true. That's true. But if we can't figure out the murderer's movements, we're stuck like a beached whale. Never thought I'd see this day. Are you actually asking me about spirit channeling?
This case is all about spirit channeling. I have a feeling I don't understand a thing about it.
Well, it's only natural. After all, spirit channeling isn't exactly an everyday thing, is it?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
How to change your physical appearance into a person you're calling was something our ancestor Mystic Ami Faye acquired. I heard that name before. Faye family was originally known for its service to the gods. When Mystic Ami was born, she was given a certain fate for her name.
Well, Ami means friend in French, that's as much as I know.
Because you see, she was named after one of the Buddhas of Buddhism, Amitabha.
Okay, now I'm gonna say that's what it's called, Amitabha? Aha. I apologize. I don't know anything of how to pronounce that name.
This day her soul is still sealed in the Quran's sacred urn.
No, it's not, and you know it's not. That's a lie.
It usually sits in the winding way and has her name written on it. Yeah? Come on, Phoenix, it's just a fairy tale.
You saying that me being able to see you is just a fairy tale too? Okay, enough stalling. What can I... Oh yeah, present, you idiot. Stick the number 9 in her face and see what happens. Okay, here we go.
Phoenix? You think I'm hiding information from you, is that about right?
Yeah,
Alright then. Tell me who you think I'm protecting.
probably Maya. It's the only person you probably would eat. You're trying to protect this person? Or is it... It's Maya, It's gonna be Maya, or it's going to be, Pearl.
I'm sorry. Maya's life is still on the line. Concentrate harder. So have you gathered your thoughts? Alright then.
Tell me who you think I'm protecting. Wait. Oh, who I'm protecting. Right, okay, Morgan. She clearly knows more than she's letting on. Morgan Fay, of course. There's no one else you would protect like this, Mia. Okay, one down. 2 to go.
Well done, but while the murder was being committed, my aunt was outside with everybody else, which means she already had an alibi.
That's true, but... Show me some evidence that would cast suspicion on my aunt. The key? The burning of the robes? I assume... Like, the cloth scrap. It's either that or the key. Don't want to go with that first. The proof is this piece of cloth. I found it in the incinerator near the winding way. It's the same material as Maya's costume, except for the splotch of blood.
You mean it's from Maya's costume when she was wearing at the time of the murder?
Yeah.
When Maya was arrested, she was wearing her costume.
That just means someone changed her clothes. Yep, I'm with you so far, Phoenix.
Changed her clothes? But why?
I don't know why, but there's only one person who could have done that.
Only one person who was taking care of Maya. My aunt.
What's that look mean?
Your argument's too flimsy.
What?
You have no proof the cloth is actually from Maya's costume.
Excuse me, blood.
And do you know whose blood is it? Is it at this point in time? You don't, do you? Do you have any proof that their piece of cloth is from Maya's costume?
Yes, the key. Because it was, I found it in the incinerator, or Pearl found it in the incinerator. And we also found that cloth in the incinerator as well. I think this is the proof you're looking for.
Key to the channeling chamber, huh?
At the beginning of the channeling, Maya had possession of this key. I'm on a roll. And yet somehow it magically ended up in the incinerator in the center garden.
You're right.
And this is why this is what Maya told me.
While I was sitting at the channeling, while I was channeling, the key was sitting inside my sleeve. And both the key and the piece of cloth were found inside the incinerator.
Which means that this piece of cloth was a part of Maya's costume.
Certainly seemed that way.
Someone changed her mind, or changed her into a different set of clothes. Then burned the costume when she was wearing in the incinerator. There's only one person who could have done that.
One person who was taking care of Maya, my aunt.
Exactly. 2 down, 1 to go.
Did very well, Phoenix.
Thank you.
As long as you had those 2 pieces of evidence, you cast suspicion on my aunt. However, like I said in the beginning, my aunt has an alibi.
Yeah, she was with us the whole time.
Here's my final question. You don't have to present solid proof for me, but I want to know, if my aunt is the culprit, then how did she commit the murder?
How did she do this?
I want to hear your thoughts. In order for my aunt to murder Dr. Gray, who or what did she need?
Well, it could be a couple things. I'm going to say an accomplice, but I'm going to say her.
Eeny meeny. She's the answer to the final question. which means that my aunt and me were in cahoots.
Yeah, they were working together.
Okay, in full bar. Now,
Tell me something, Mia.
something's been bothering me this whole time. This crime is something no normal person could carry out. The person would have to know a lot about Fey Manor and the village itself to do this. But Morgan already has an alibi. Yes, which is why I can't work out how it's done. We can assume that Eenie Meenie is involved somehow. But we have one big problem on our hands.
A problem with what?
We don't have a motive.
Why would Morgan want to kill Dr. Gray? Why would she have to? Also, we don't really know for sure she was cooperating with Eenie. I mean, Eenie did basically tell you, stick your basically stuck two fingers up in your face, so swings and roundabouts.
Mia doesn't have a clue either. There's only one possibility. Think about it, Phoenix. Why would my aunt do something like this? Why would she do it in such an underhanded fashion?
Because
Mother. She is the one who holds the key to this.
my guess is she's trying to put May as the branch family, and she's trying to get back at Mia's mum.
Don't be silly. Mine, of course. Misty Faye.
Maya and Mia's mother?
Why would she bring her up now? Now then. Looks like we've gathered everything we could. All we have to do is win tomorrow. Everything will become apparent then.
Right, Chief. We won't lose. Ooh. Okay, and I can save the game, and then we'll end this for today. But we're gonna go over now to Arkham City. Oh, which is first fun. I'm just gonna have a little stretch while I do my outro, because I definitely should be doing that a bit more, because my lower back's gonna be awful when I'm older, because I'm sitting in a chair for so long. Anyway, for people on, well, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, first of all, but for people on Twitch, we're going over to Arkham City now after a 10 to 15 minute break. But if you ever miss a stream, you should click down below, that's where you'll find my videos. People on YouTube, Rumble, all those other platforms, if you want to watch live and interact like I have been doing today, you're more than welcome to. Should be a link in the description of every video that I do to the Twitch channel, as well as any other platform you wish to watch me on. I'd like to thank you guys for watching one final time, and bye-bye.